Alex here from Heavy New York and Alto Music here with Sonny of Incantation. We're going to go do some gear talk right here. It's got his custom signature guitar right here. But one question I wanted to ask you before we get onto the gear talk is, upon joining Incantation, I know that you joined in 2014. So when you joined Incantation, were you like looking at, the previous 10 albums that came in and being like, this is how I have to play? Or did the rest of the band kind of want you to bring a little bit of your own mix to the songwriting and live presence?
Actually, the story behind this is their old guitar player, Alex, was taking a break, I guess, and I was just supposed to finish 2 songs on Dirges. So I did the 2 songs, and they got the album out, and then whatever happened with their situation asked me to fill in for a tour. So I filled in with the tour, and like so 6.5 years later, I'm still here. So that's kind of how that came to place. I do put my own style as much as I can in there, but yeah, that's basically about it. It was basically started out as just a studio session to get to finish their album, and then we just kind of went from there. You know what I mean? So, awesome.
When it comes to guitar playing, do you follow like a music theory format, like within soloing, I have to work off of this scale and this key, or is your guitar work rather like improvised in a way?
No, it's all music school. I have a master's in classical and jazz music. So, yeah, I'll do a little bit different than what Incan does. I'll have to look at the chords and say, okay, these chords are this here and this here. So I'll actually pencil it all out, you know what I mean, before I start. And then you start tempting to put what works and what doesn't work, you know what I mean? Because sometimes, if you do Egyptian scale, it might not fit for how the song's flowing, you know what I mean, or something like that. But yeah, I approach it very music school way. That's just the way I do things,
And now you have this music theory knowledge. How would they, like, if you go back to music school, this is where I play death metal now. Like, is there? I heard like classical music is just heavy metal before electricity.
Oh, yeah. And it's funny because a lot of those people in music schools and classicals listen to that extreme music. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because they're kind of more extreme people because they're just trying to take it to the next level as much as possible, So, but I always tell most people, you don't have to be the Star Trek Spock of music science, you know what I mean? But a little bit of the basics is good, you know what I mean? If you hit a G chord, you want to know that you're hitting the G chord, not go, well, I don't know. Yeah. So
now let's move on to this beauty right here. So this is your own custom model right here?
Yeah, this is a prototype. We put this together this year, actually, and it's coming out next year. It'll be available in Candy Apple Red, which is this, and Candy Apple Purple. And this is actually car paint. We didn't do the lacquer. Really? On it. So everybody's been raving about the paint, how it's been hitting on the stage and stuff like that, and it's real thick. But I actually found the paint at a drag racing show, and this old timer was over there. I flew across the track. I says, "What color's your car?" He goes, "Oh man, that's Candy Apple Purple Metallic." So I sent it to the guitar company. I said, "This is car paint," you know what I mean? So they worked with it, and they got it done, and so we tried it out, and it's been working great. So then I also sent them the purple version of this too. It's going to have, we did some modifications, obviously, for next year. I mean, we're going to move this knob here. This switch is going to come here just for live purposes. It's going to have 25 frets, 81 to 60. It's going to have Kahlers on them, USA Kahlers. The neck I designed myself. This is actually the thinnest neck you can go by before you start losing your tone, because some guys, you have a thicker neck, and obviously the more wood, it's going to be thicker sound, so we kept shrinking it because I just wanted an ultra shred fast neck, as fast as possible. So it went exactly as thin as we could go before we started losing tone. We're actually recording each neck design, and you could see on the graph, okay, here we're starting to lose tone. Okay, let's back up a couple thousandths, and then I also sculpt this out here. This big cutaway here, because what was happening is on the previous models they had, I would be here, when you're playing death metal, you're playing really fast, you go to solo, I'd fly my hand up here and I would crack that, all the time. So it says, man, we got to cut that out of the way. So now when I come up there, look, my hand just slides right in there. I mean, it's perfect cutaway, but man, she's that's a heavy piece of wood, you know what I mean? So yeah, and then the next version, it'll all be scalped because I played scalp guitars ever since I was 14 when I found out Yngwie Malmsteen. So, but this was just a prototype to make sure it lasts on the road, because I says I got to have a guitar that has to take the ass whooping. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Now, in terms of strings and in pickups, so you want to give like a rundown on what you got there as well?
This is an 81. This is a 60. I work with EMG. They actually sent me this 60 not too long ago because I wanted a more fatter tone for the leads. So I've been working with Tommy on that. And EMG's really good guys. I've been working with them since like 2007. The strings are Kurt Mangan's strings. Are actually my own signature strings. I actually play a real heavy gauge. I play 11s.
Oh, wow.
And then how I tune this is a 7-string for Incan is the top 6 is your normal tuning, and then I actually put the high string on the top on my 7-string. So I kind of do it backwards. Most people do the really low, the chunky low string, you know what I mean? So I flipped it. Just for, something else, and it's actually panning out really, really good. I mean, the range of leads you can do now is just, almost you start hitting that violin real high, you know what I mean? More violin sound, so, but...
Seems like you got like the perfect mix to hit those really heavy down-tuned riffs and that guitar soloing.
Yeah, it's almost you can actually, the way Incan tunes is you can have the heavy low tuning, but then I can go up to the really high cracking leads, and everybody always asks me, how do you get that really high sound? If you're down tuned, I was just like, what's the extra, string if you hear it? It's pretty high up there, so, But, that's basically about it. It's Halo out of Los Angeles, California, and they just make all custom stuff, but this is the first signature model that they're putting out. So they're excited, I'm excited, and they're working hard and to get it done, and I think it's going to go over really, really good, so.
Could, for some Incantation guitar fans out there, can they pick this up in like any major music store? Or
it'll only be available through Halo's website, you know what I mean? So go to halocustomguitars.com or their Facebook, you know what I mean? And they can just click on the link and it'll be right there. Halo, they just do nothing but custom mods for people, so they don't really put them in Guitar Centers or stuff like that, you know what I mean? So
that's cool. It seems like Halo can really make the guitar of your choice.
Yeah, they have an actual thing, a toolbar thing. You can go on their website and design anything you want. They'll build anything, you know what I mean? So you can go in there and just, I want this, and watch it being built on this program they have, and have your guitars like that, so.
Awesome dream guitar company.
Yeah. yeah, definitely.
Well, thank you so much, Sonny, for your time today.
Yeah, absolutely, sir. Thank you.
Yep. Everybody, Sonny of Incantation. This is Alex from Heavy New York and Alto Music. We'll see you next time.
Right on.